In this video, we're going to have a look at how to determine the equation of a straight line. A straight line can essentially have two forms, where we've got y equals mx plus c, or y minus b is equal to m bracket x minus a. If we've got a straight line in this form, m is the gradient, and c is the y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis. If we don't know both of those pieces of information, we could use this point here, or this equation here, y minus b equals m bracket x minus a, where m is the gradient and ab, these points here, represent a point on the line. Let's have a look at this. Find the equation of the line passing through the point 3 minus 6 with a gradient of negative 3. Okay, so we've got a gradient and we've got a point. That's not the y-intercept, so we're going to need to use y minus b equals m bracket x minus a, where we've got the gradient is minus 3 and we've got the point 3 minus 6. What we're going to do is we're going to label these points a and b. So we've got y minus 6 is equal to negative 3 bracket x minus 3. From here, it's just a case of simplifying. That's going to be y plus 6 is equal to minus 3x plus 9. And if we want to make it into the form y equals mx plus c, we'll subtract 6 from both sides. That's going to be minus 3x plus 3. So from this form, we can say that the gradient is negative 3 and the y-intercept is 3. If we want to have an idea of what this looks like, we could draw it. You're not asked to here, but this problem essentially started out saying that we had a point, a line that passed through the point 3 minus 6, and it had a negative gradient. So the line might look something like this here. And what we've just done is we've just worked out the equation of this line. This line has the equation y equals minus 3x plus 3. So it slopes downwards, but we can also now say what the y-intercept is. The y-intercept is 3. Okay, let's have a look at example 2. Find the equation of the line passing through 1, minus 6 and 3, 12. We're going to do a wee diagram here to try and give us an idea of what's going to be going on, what we can be expecting here. Okay, so once again, you wouldn't be expected to do this. So I've got 1 along, 6 down, so that might be like this point here. And then I've got 3 along, 12 up, 3 along, maybe this point here. So there's 1 minus 6 and 3, 12. So my goal is I want to work out what is the equation of the line that passes through those points. Hopefully you can see that I've got a positive gradient. So when I work out my gradient, I'm expecting that answer to be positive. I don't have a y-intercept, so I'm going to first work out the gradient. I'll just rub this out. Actually, I'll just move it to the side. There we go. So to work out the equation of a line, we need a gradient and a point. So we've got 2 points, but we do not have a gradient. So remember, our gradient is given by like the slope of the line, and the gradient, how we worked out in the past, is the vertical over the horizontal. And essentially, the gradient is worked out by the difference in the y's over the difference in the x's. Because the difference in the y's will tell us the vertical, the difference in the x's will tell us the horizontal. And you might see it represented as this. The difference of the y coordinates over the difference of the x coordinates. So we might need to label these x1, y1, x2, y2. This is how we calculate the gradient. So that's going to be 12 subtract negative 6 over 3 subtract 1. That's going to be 18 over 2, which is 9. So we've worked out that we've got a gradient of 9 here, and that ties in with this because it's sloping upwards. So we've worked out a gradient, so now to find the equation of the line, we need a gradient and a point, and we've got all the pieces we need. M bracket x minus a. Because we've got a gradient, And we can choose a point to substitute in. We'll choose a point that looks a bit easier. I'm going to choose the point 312 because there's less negatives there. So I'll substitute this in. Y minus 12 is equal to 9 bracket x minus 3. We'll work through and we'll make y the subject of the formula. Y equals 9x minus 15. So gradient of 9, y-intercept down here, if I were to continue this, of minus 15. Okay, last question. Find the equation of the following line. So here we've got 2 points. So to find the equation of a line, we need a gradient and a point. However, do you notice in this problem here, we are actually given the y-intercept. This point here is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is -7. So if we think back to our form when it's in the form y equals mx plus c, remember this c here represents the y-intercept. So if we know the y-intercept is -7, we can say that's going to be y equals mx minus 7. So all we need to work out here is the gradient. You could use y minus b equals m bracket x minus 8. You're going to get the exact same answer, but it's just this is maybe a bit more efficient this way. So to work out a gradient, that's going to be the difference of the y's, that's the vertical, over the difference of the x's, which is the horizontal. So we've got the difference of the y's over the difference of the x's. So what we've got, I'm just going to write this out a bit clearer. 12, 11. So that's x1, y1, x2, y2. So the difference of the y's is 11 subtract minus 7 because these points are 18 units apart. And the difference of the x's is 12 because this point here and this point here is 12 apart. So we're going to get 18 over 12, which can both be divided by 6, and that's going to give us 3 over 2. So now that we know our gradient, we can just go straight ahead and substitute it in place of m here. So the equation of this line is 3 over 2x minus 7. You would have got the exact same answer if you used y minus b equals m bracket x minus a. It's just in this problem we could use the shortcut because we were specifically given that y-intercept. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks very much.